Well, good afternoon, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy, what's up, Joe Boo and Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, man, I go crazy without you guys. So let's get reopened for business here, and let's wake up those football gods. Wake up, guys. I'm actually covered with dust. Forgive me. They always tell me, don't quit your day job because there's no future for you here on YouTube. You're too old, you're too ugly, and you don't know how to use a computer, and you just need to leave the stuff to the professionals. That's what they've always said to me. So I have not quit my day job. That's why I try and do everything that you can. See, those who don't have all the gifts and the opportunities, the way you succeed is by outworking everybody else. So I am constantly, for however long I'm here on this planet, on this earth, I am going to bust my ass doing everything I can. So if it's YouTube, I'm going to give full force to it. If it's building racks for people, I'm going to give full force to it. If it's being a general contractor, I'm going to be doing that. If it just means that I got to go out and clean toilets, whatever it is that I do, I'm going to give it full effort, and I will never, ever give up until they throw dirt on me. And that way, I know I never failed. And I'm also going to make sure that I have integrity in what I do. Doesn't mean I get everything right, because we're talking about football. Football, when you talk about thinking of what the season's going to be, I'm sorry, nobody saw the Eagles and the Cowboys as the two worst teams in the division. Nobody saw Washington turning around without a name and end up being in the playoffs. That happens. That's one thing. But most of what we get is speculation. It used to be with sports that it was basically, here's the facts, here's the highlights, you decide on what you think the outcome's going to be. Now everything is about opinions, and people will take opinions, some of which may be close to real, some may be just made up, and they will take it that it is a fact. For example, we know Andy Dalton is going to be signing with Denver. Do we? Somebody said it makes sense for Andy Dalton to be signed by Denver. Denver, Drew Lock is not a lock. They're disappointed with that. They're not sure they'll be in a position to draft another quarterback, or are looking at it, and they're maybe thinking, let's get a veteran here. It may be an improvement over what we have. That at least that is the concept. We don't know that that's what the Denver Broncos are thinking any more than what we know about the Cowboys situation with Dak. But see, we get a lot of rumors, lots of rumors that are out there. And I want to describe how a rumor starts, because a lot of the hate and venom that we get is because of speculation of others, that people will say things and people will take it as facts, or they'll have a narrative that they want to put out there, or they're doing it just so people will listen, because Stephen A. Smith showed everybody how to do it. Stephen A. Smith is the guy who launched 1,000 ships, because becoming a Dallas Cowboy hater, saying things that were outlandish, people would go through and say, oh my God, did you hear what this guy said? He's nuts. And we propagate the and so now everybody is watching, looking. A lot of teams are hoping that the Dallas Cowboys don't sign Dak Prescott. Teams out there are salivating at the possibility of being able to get that guy. And then you have things like this that happen that go out there yesterday.
Hope is that since the season has ended, that the agent and the front office have talked with Dak Prescott about what's going on. Because if it doesn't get done, then you're going to be talking about dysfunctional, that they couldn't get their quarterback done here. You can add this organization to that group.
Yeah. And we always talk about, and we can make this Cowboy-centric, and that's smart of us. but every organization needs to be looking at every player. You got that big, gigantic. It used to be a board in your office, right, Brian? Now
yeah, no. If you cannot get Dak Prescott under contract, you have to be prepared to do what you have to do. And trading Dak Prescott for him straight up, I would absolutely consider that. If it came down to the fact that they couldn't get anything done at the Texans, and you can't get anything done here, if you want to trade things straight up, let's go straight up and get this done.
Yeah,
and for Deshaun Watson, that might make sense.
Because
I agree with Fish. I don't want to go to New York if I'm Deshaun right now, especially if they're giving up 3 first-rounders.
No, but I would like to believe that if Dallas does not get Dak Prescott done and Watson still hasn't been traded, that they think about doing something there.
I like that we're not doing this in some screaming headliney way, although it'll probably end up that way.
I'm getting ready.
Come on, Fish.
Yeah,
might have spoke too soon there.
Yeah, I think I am of the opinion I would hate to lose Dak the person, but if I could replace him with Deshaun the person, who's the same kind of person, I can live with that. And Brian, the picture you're painting here, I don't think is unreasonable. The Cowboys make Dak an offer. He says, no, I'm not going to do it. They say, well, Houston is willing to do that. Houston's willing to do what you want. And Dak says, okay, fine. I'll sign in Houston. And then Dak goes to Houston, and they want him because they've salvaged the quarterback situation. And Dallas gets a player in Deshaun who is better than Dak. And the locker room doesn't freak too much because he's so high quality. And the Cowboys have just made themselves better, even though they just traded away, I think, their best player and best person.
Okay. All right. So, woo, boy, so much to go over on this one. For me, okay, to me, this smells a lot like Mike Furio, who once said there might be a tape out there 10 times worse than Ray Rice's of Des Bryant. That started off a firestorm that people took that as, oh my God, Des Bryant's out here beating up women. There's a tape out there, man. We got to find this tape. Des Bryant. And people heard that, and they took that to this day. Man, there's a tape out there, Des Bryant, worse than Ray Rice. Because the retraction never comes. Or if it is, it's like in the fine print. But as far as I know, nobody ever apologized about that tape about Des Bryant. Nobody. And we always hear these crazy stories and stuff like that. So, but let's just dissect this for a minute here. Let's just dissect this for a second here. If the Cowboys can't get a deal done with Dak Prescott, understand that Deshaun Watson's deal is averaging $39 million per year. $39 million per year. Let's say Dak wants 40. That's last year's number. Josh Allen is going to be in the mid-40s. You've got Lamar Jackson that's going to get paid there as well. You're telling me that you can't get a deal done for $40 million for Dak Prescott? And you're under the assumption, here's the problem with this whole concept here and how it's all bullshit. In order for you to trade Dak Prescott, and I've said this so many times, you have to sign him to a long-term contract and trade that, or you have to franchise tag him, and not only franchise tag him, you have to get him to sign the franchise tag. Just because you put a tag on a player does not mean that you can control what he does until they sign. He's still out there as an independent contractor. So what you would have to do is you'd have to make the trade for Deshaun Watson, and Dak Prescott would have to sign off and say, okay, I'll sign that franchise tag. I'm willing to go to the Texans, who are interviewing their third string quarterback as a possible head coach. Let me say that again. They are interviewing their third string quarterback to be the head coach. And they're saying, well, we'll surround him with some former head coaches to help him along, to tutor him. If you have guys that are former head coaches that are good, why are you going to put them in a teaching role? Why don't you just make them the head coach? Hello? You make them the head coach, and you make him a coordinator and say, we're going to work you up the chain. The Texans, they're abysmal. They have no first or second round pick. They got no cash. They're a rudderless ship. Why would Dak Prescott say, I'm not going to sign a deal with the Cowboys, but I'm okay with signing a franchise tag and being traded to purgatory? Because I'm getting people that are saying, hey, we should trade Dak Prescott to the Houston Texans. Now, guess what? Guess what? What does that do to help the rest of our team? Regardless of Fish saying that maybe Deshaun Watson's a better player, the numbers don't bear it out. We said last year that Dak Prescott's numbers were empty calories, right? Dak had more yards last year than Deshaun Watson and more wins. Dak Prescott was definitely having more yards and everything else this year, starting this year before he got injured. They've got the same playoff record. They're the same guy. And so you think bringing somebody in who hasn't worked with the guys that you know he works well with. You know Amari Cooper plays fantastic with them. There's a night and day difference between him being with Derek Carr and being with Dak Prescott. You've seen how Michael Gallup is with Dak Prescott. You've seen how the team is a team and follows behind Dak Prescott. You don't think that team would crater if you said, we're just going to trade him straight up for that? Come on, man. This is how this stuff just really gets under your skin. Trade Dak Prescott. It's not even feasible. But people will run with it and say, hey, let's do that. Let's go get that guy. Come on, man. Let's be for real.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
Yeah, a very particular set of skills. Hope you guys are having a great Saturday. I'm going to go back to my workshop. I just wanted to deal with this situation here because this is crazy. It's just crazy. I'll see you later. Peace.